Hi everybody, and welcome to your second tutorial on Instagram for beginners. So, just to quickly introduce myself, I'm Jen. You can find me on Twitter at JenBowden1 if you want to ask any questions throughout. But also, as we're talking about Instagram, here's my personal Instagram account that I've been building for the past 12 months on home renovation. So, these are the things I'm going to be talking to you about today. So let's kick off. And so the first one is to download the app. So I'm sure most of you already have this, but if you don't, this is easy to do by simply going into the App Store on your phone, typing in Instagram, downloading the app, and then just following the instructions. That'll just take you through to set up your account. My top tip here is that to do it on your phone, because this is how you're going to manage your account most effectively. Then moving on to building your profile. So after you've made your account, starting from the top is choosing your name and your account handle. So if you're a brand, this is quite easy because you can use your brand name. If it's not, then you want it to be something relevant and unique but easy for your audience to remember. Next, we'll move on to your profile image. So again, if you're a brand, I'd recommend using your logo. But if you're not, again, you want it to be something unique and eye-catching so people can pick you out. Moving on to the description. Again, you want this to be as specific as you can so that when people actually come to your page, they can understand exactly what they're going to get. What I'd also make most use of is the link. So there are very few places that you can link to on Instagram. And this is one of them. So if you've got a blog or a website, I'd make use of this the most. And if you've not, that's fine, because there could be something in the post that you're posting that could support it. So anything of interest can go into here if you think it's going to make your profile even stronger. Then moving on to my next tip, which is look for inspiration. So you want to be as unique and creative as you can, but there's a lot that you can learn out there from people who are already doing it really, really well. So I'd look at others that you're interested in. How have they structured their content? How do they talk? What personality do they give off? But also, what images do they take? On that, I wouldn't forget that Instagram is an image-based platform. So you are going to want to get more inspiration on how you can take those really nice images, but also how people talk about those images. So this is when you're going to write your caption. How descriptive are people, and do they ask questions to draw that engagement? So there's a lot of tips out there from what other people are doing. In terms of looking for inspiration, there's also a feature within Instagram, which is the Discover platform. So on the bottom left of Instagram, if you click on the magnifying glass, and that will bring up the Discovery app. So within here, Instagram will recommend who you may be interested in, but you can also search at the top, which you can search any interests or behaviours in there, and it will give you recommendations of who to look at. On this, you can also use the same section for hashtags, which is my next point or topic. So hashtags are basically Instagram's signpost to your content and to others. So in here, you need to be looking for the most popular hashtags that will show you relative content, but also signpost other people to your content. So in here, we've used the example of baking, and you can see how many people are using each one of them. And you can click into these and see what other people are saying. So whilst looking at other people's content, you also need to use these hashtags in your own content. So this is where you can be broad and specific. You're going to want to talk about exactly what is in the image that you're showcasing so people can find that. But also you'll start to find hashtags that are around a specific conversation that you're going to want to join. So for example, people interested in baking also use hashtags such as cakes of Instagram, where there's a big conversation that you can join. My last tip is to be active. I would start posting now. Try and be consistent and give it a go to post one a day. see of what works, see what images start to work for you, what times of day, if people start to engage by adding comments that you can engage with and learn, and I'll just give it a go. So I hope that was interesting and of some use, and we can now actually take some questions. So I've got one question here, which is, how many hashtags can I use? So I think there is a limit of 30 hashtags per post, but I wouldn't recommend using all 30. I think you just need to be as specific as you can to what that image is. And I think when it starts to become forced, that's probably the time to stop. But you want to add enough in there so people can actually find your content. So whatever feels most natural. We have another question, which is Instagram stories better than normal Instagram posts? So I've not touched on Instagram stories here, but they are short live videos that you can post alongside. So for this, I don't necessarily think that they're better, but you can use them in a different way. So they're definitely more visible, and people scroll through them a lot quicker than they do your posts. But I would actually use them to signpost people to your actual Instagram post. So when you upload a new one that your users might not have seen, this is a good place to signpost people to go and watch it. And we've got another one which says, can anyone see my post? So this is a good question, because there are privacy settings on Instagram, and you can opt for private or public. So obviously if you wanted to showcase that your brand or your new initiative, you're going to want it to be public so a lot of people can find you. But if it's a personal account, then you may want to switch that to a private account. And I think that is it for now. But if you have any more questions, you can comment away and we'll get back to you. But thank you very much, and I hope you learned something. Bye.